What is really important about safety performance indicators? One hint, it's not about how the numbers are presented. Welcome to Managing HSE with the proRIS Safety Bits. Today, with the topic of safety performance indicators. My name is Christopher Spalding and I provide excellence for HSE professionals globally with consulting, coaching and training, in person or virtual. Every week you'll find here a new safety bit on HSE, so please consider subscribing and get the latest updates to support your HSE work. Peter Drucker once formulated, only what gets measured improves. So why doesn't the safety performance improve although we measure the number of incidents? Some people even use very colorful charts and overloaded 3D diagrams for it. And just a small sidestep, I see this on LinkedIn and other platforms over and over again. People advertise what they call great Excel sheets for creating HSE numbers. And others love it and want immediately have a copy of it. So for me, this is just often another attempt to cover up for non-performance or the lack of professionalism by hiding behind huge Excel sheets with many colors and fancy charts. Charts shall make the information more easy to be understood. So let's get some work done and leave the presentation for later. What is safety performance and why do we measure it? If you say now incident numbers, you have one element, but for sure not the core answer. When looking at a soccer game, the result of 0 to 1 tells you that one team is the winner, but was it efficient, predictable, repeatable, or just luck? And it's more than just the number. Behind every incident there is personal suffering, impact on the family, co-workers. There might be permanent disabilities, costs, and many other factors. This is not represented in a number and it's often forgotten, unfortunately. If safety performance doesn't improve by measuring incident numbers, it is because incident numbers are a poor proxy for safety performance. If you look for the things after the incident has happened, you focus on lagging indicators. This doesn't give you an insight in the quality of your prevention work. Using the bow tie model, you ignore the whole left side. You ignore what is leading to the incident. You ignore your leading indicators. If you want to measure, you need to measure the effectiveness of your system and team. And by that, what leads to safety performance? Your leading indicators. If you control the leading side, you have a much more robust idea what your incident numbers will look like in the future, because you bring light into the safety management black box, which produces the outcome. So what is safety? By definition, it's the absence of risk, and we will not achieve this, but we will get down to an acceptable risk level which might lower together with the way your organization matures. So when you are looking into the measurement of safety performance, you might not want to measure your mistakes, because this will lead at maximum to mediocre performance. And that's the reason why organizations build on strength instead of trying to focus on weaknesses. You can make no errors at all and can be not efficient at the same time. You might want to consider measuring safety instead, and foremost, safe behavior, because the lack of safe behavior is the reason for almost all incidents. So how can you observe a safe behavior? For example, by audits, surveys, involvement, contribution. Safe behavior is, in terms of many organizational maturity models, an interdependent state in which members of the organization support each other and take care of each other. This happens, for example, when you look into the answers for the following questions. How many % of your trainings are conducted by co-workers instead of supervisors? How many improvement ideas come from the employees and how many of them can be directly implemented by the team? How many qualified mentors or buddies do you have? What is the knowledge and qualification level of your workforce? How is the safety level perceived by the employees and how do they perceive their supervisors? And many more. And also, how efficient are your processes? Measuring the number of safety trainings or the number of safety observations done hardly tells me anything about the effectiveness of the activity. Having an indicator on knowledge retention, employee surveys or a kind of internal net promoter score are better proxies when it comes to effectiveness. Ask yourself what aspect you want to change with your program and then measure the desired outcome. You do trainings to increase knowledge. You do safety observations to improve risk awareness. So then you should measure exactly this thing. One last word on presentation of numbers. Make it clear and simple. If you have to explain me the chart in more than one sentence, it's probably too difficult. And for that matter, what's the benefit of 3D? What additional information can you transport by it? And the answer is none. So delete it from your toolset. The same is true for colors, patterns, gradients, and so on. If they don't add relevant information to a chart, leave it out. It does not support your professionalism if you create overly colorful diagrams which are not understood by the audience. If you want to present to top management, use similar style charts as the ones which are already used in their environment. So let's summarize. Safety performance measurement needs to take leading indicators into account. Define what is a safe behavior in your company and start measuring this. If you have a safety activity or program, define the outcome and measure this. Keep an eye on the effectiveness and efficiency of your processes. When presenting numbers, keep it simple and adopt to the style your audience is familiar with. What are your thoughts, questions and ideas? Please comment, subscribe, send me a message or just give me a call. More on proRIS.com/HSCCT. Thanks for watching. Stay safe.